Hey Douchebags, what's going on? It's LandonRemixes here, and welcome to my review of the first ever solo EP by Niles, Halowell-Dhar, also known better as KSHMR. And this one's called Paradesi. It's his, like I said, it's his first ever EP, and it's actually available exclusively when you pick up his new record, Jammu. That's out on Spinnin' Records right now. If you go and get that on Beatport and send him an email saying you bought it and sending your Beatport receipt, he'll send you this full EP, and trust me, it's worth it. This whole EP is definitely worth the whatever $2 you have to pay on Beatport for the single, because this EP is really awesome. And I just like to give a little background about this. When he first started doing solo material as KSHMR, I actually really didn't like it. He had a release on Spinnin' Records called Megalodon, and it got a lot of negative feedback, or negative comments from a lot of people, especially on YouTube and social media, just because of how generic it sounded. It was just kind of like that kind of style, big room, and I just don't think people were really into that sound. And he started to gain more and more popularity, especially last year with a single with Dallas K called Burn, and that one was a huge chart topper on Beatport, and he's been getting even bigger in recent months, especially with his single Secrets with Tiesto, and he has called it probably the biggest track of his career. And now that he's kind of got a string of releases, he's going back into making progressive house rather than that big room style, with the release of KSHMR, his free song. It's the same name as his name, but spelled the regular way. And then most recently with Jammu. And kind of all his music at this point is centered around his origins, his ancestors from India, with the Kashmir and Jammu regions of India. And I think this is a really cool concept that he's getting into, and a lot of his music videos now are leading into something like that, whereas in the past his stuff has had more to do with just being absolutely awesome. And especially with the release of Dead Man's Hand, that music video was kind of just epic and didn't really have to do much with that, and was just more dance centered. But now he's getting a little more deeper into his personality and his ancestry, and I think it's really cool the direction he's going and bringing that to a mainstream dance audience. Now, he's had a lot of Beatport chart toppers over the last year. He's had Karate, he's had No Heroes, Burn, like I mentioned. These are all very big hits on Beatport, and he's gotten a lot of support behind Spinnin'. But what a lot of people don't know is that he was in the duo the Cataracs, and they've actually done production for groups like Far East Movement and just a lot of pop things. And a lot of people don't know that KSHMR is behind these hits, and he's even a ghost producer himself, so he's producing big hits. There's some rumors going on that he produced Tsunami by Dubs and Borges. Not sure if that's entirely true, but it's been rumored that that was the case. I had heard once that KSHMR was ghost produced, but there's no way, because he's just a big name producer that's behind all these pop hits and dance tracks. So let's get into a little bit about this EP. In this EP, like I said, he focuses on a little bit more of a roots sound when he gets back to his ancestry in India. We get more some plucks and guitar, and just putting that sound in the background of his tracks while still retaining a dance theme. The two middle tracks on this album, which are actually remakes or new mixes of his older tracks, not necessarily older, because Jammu just came out. He's got the Paradesi version of Jammu, and he's got the Paradesi version of KSHMR, and both these tracks are very nice, take on a little bit more of a tropical house twist, but I'd almost say that it's like tropical India house twist. So he slows it down a little with these tracks. We get an awesome intro, there's a lot of saxophone use, and just a lot of different instruments. And one of the things I love about KSHMR is that he has definitely a heart for upcoming producers. With this download, he's also giving out free KSHMR sound packs, which I might end up using for something, who knows. And he just has a heart to give away all his music for free. And although he is releasing on one of the most mainstream record labels out there, Spinnin' Records, he has stated that he'd release all his music for free if he could, and I'm sure like he would if he could, but that's not the way it works, and he's got to get paid. Artists got to make a living. He doesn't do live performances as far as I know. He made an appearance at Ultra Music Festival this year with Tiesto, which I think is when everyone found out who he actually was, Niles, Halowell-Dhar. And most of this EP is fairly smooth and relaxing, a little bit dancey, especially with the Jammu Paradesi version. And it's just very enjoyable to listen through. I've listened through it a few times the last couple days, ever since he mailed it out on email to the people who bought Jammu. And then he finishes up the EP with this awesome Delhi. And on this one he takes a bit more of an electro dance bit. And I think this one actually might be released on Spinnin' sometime in the future, if that's how the rumor goes. But it really should be, because this track would be awesome as a single, and I'd really love to get the extended mix of this rather than the EP version, which is a fantastic track. Like I said, takes on a little bit more of an electro sound, and I think it contrasts the rest of it very well, and we get a little bit more of a slow Indian tropical vibe, and then we switch up and get back to his regular dance style, which I think showed off what he can do very well, and his diversity and producing ability as a music producer, and I really think that this was a good way for him to go on this EP. Anyway, very enjoyable EP, definitely worth it, like I said, to go buy Jammu and get that EP sent to you, extremely worth it. And because this EP is so very short, one of the tracks is an intro track, and I didn't really love the new version of Kashmir, I'm going to give this one a solid 9. I did like all the tracks, like I said, very enjoyable. My favorites are Delhi and Jammu, Paradesi version. Go out and get this. Definitely worth it for the $2.50 you have to pay. It's not going to be available on iTunes as far as I know, or Beatport or any of those. So do yourself a favor and get the exclusive. Anyway, Kashmir Paradesi EP. Go and get it. See you guys later. Peace.